I want to tell a little story about Master Henry Gibson. Master Henry was like a master percussionist. In fact, he was even in the Guinness Book of Records as the mostly recorded percussionist ever. There's no other percussionist that played on more records. Like he played on all that great Curtis Mayfield stuff, all the Superfly shit. He was on The Ghetto with Donny Hathaway, Higher and Higher, Jackie Wilson. He played on it all. Anyway, during one period, like when I moved back to Sweden, like around the millennium, I played quite a lot of gigs with Henry. And Henry was like, he started like from being a percussionist, he started like, you know, getting gigs where he was like the drummer in the band, but he would play sort of like drums and percussions at the same time. So he like invented all these like, you know, special stands for everything. Like, you know, he had all these like, you know, things he could play on everywhere. Like it had bass drum and a snare, but he would have all this percussion in front of him. And he was always very meticulous with all his equipment and stuff. Everything was packed, everything was in perfect order. Like he knew where he had everything. And his wife was good at booking gigs, getting us these gigs like in these sort of like classy places out in the archipelago in Sweden, you know. So like we always be like involved in taking boat trips to these gigs. So it's like in the summertime when we're going out to play gigs somewhere. I can't remember who else was up there. Probably Jerome Wells playing bass. Or Boney Bone, could be a Boney Bone bass. We're going out to play this gig anyway. Henry was a bit stressed. We get to the gig and Henry doesn't have his stands with him. He's got all his different drums and, you know, cowbells and shakers and everything, but no stands for it. You know, any other guy would have just given up and said, sorry, there's no gig tonight. Not Henry Gibson. He got it together with like 4 office chairs, 7 coat hangers. I don't know what else he got like scraps of like metal off like, you know, old boat engines on the island. He managed to get his kit up, you know. He started playing the gig, you know, playing along. It's going good, you know. And like, Henry always did his bit where he would like go out into the audience and play, and he'd have this belt with like, you know, he'd have like, you know, his talking drum on, and he'd have like, you know, a pair of like bongos, and he'd have like, you know, all this percussion. He goes out and he's like, first he goes out and playing the talking drum, and it sounds like almost like a, you know, a woman, you know, having an orgasm. It's like, you know, he always get like all the girls like blushing in the audience with it, you know. Henry was a good looking guy too, like when he come up making them sounds, you know, most girls would go like. And he gets into his bit where he gets his like bongos out with the bongos between the knees, and he like starts playing like and doing all this like fast stuff like in the Superfly and stuff, you know. It's going really good. And it's this really drunk Swedish guy, you know, typically sort of like big sort of like buffoon Swedish guy with a shaved head, you know. And he's right in front of Henry, and like this guy has no manners, and he keep like, you know, calling Henry the N-word.